Well, I think that gives you kind of a good foundation into why we're launching this consumer app, why we're doing what we're doing. Is the entire goal is to help you have more of those human to human interactions and conversations. It's less about, just another tool that your clients have, but more about what can we do, what technology can we provide to help you have more human to human interactions. Let's prioritize what really matters. And I think that's become blatantly clear to us, especially over the last week or so as we've gone through some of these, crazy times. But really, like, I think the more we've more we've brought some of the social distancing things, at least in my life, the more I crave that human interaction, and the more I'm grateful for social media and technology like Zoom that helps me to have some human interaction, right? So I think that is absolutely an awesome opportunity where we can leverage technology. We can leverage things like the KW app to spend less of our time worried about just the functionary tasks of an agent and more about being that fiduciary to our clients and engaging with them in more opportunities in more ways. So, kind of the goals for today is to really help give you guys a good understanding of how to use the consumer app. We're going to go through how to set it up and customize it to you and your business. And then we're going to talk about how you can get this out to your clients, to your friends, family, and everyone that you know. Fair enough? Perfect. So what is the consumer app? Well, really, that when we launch the consumer app and we have the command platform, we now have the complete end-to-end consumer experience, right? So that you can manage, it's all one platform now where you can manage everything in your business and your consumer can plug right into that same platform. Like you can see here, anything your client does on their app or on the website is going to show up in your command. You can start sending them guides and things like that, getting them involved. So we can get away from a lot of those sending emails and things like that and be more involved in functioning all on one platform. Essentially, what I'm saying here is the system communicates with itself. Gone are the days of your clients having to send you an MLS number or a screenshot of a listing on Zillow and saying, hey, we want to go see this house. We're now all communicating with the same language, really. So some of the things that your consumers can do, or your friends and family and clients can do, they can search for real estate. They can save standout homes to collections. They can create as many collections as they want. Homes we want to go see this weekend, dream homes, homes in Arizona if we were to move there, all that type of stuff. They can hide homes they don't like. They can share those collections with anyone. They can collaborate with co-buyers. So most people are probably purchasing a home as a couple. They can collaborate together right in the same app. They can invite you to collaborate as well. They can follow along in the buying and selling process with guides, and they can learn what it's like to live in a neighborhood. So they can dive in and figure out the culture and what that neighborhood feels like. And then what you can do is you can provide hyper-local real-time data to them. You can keep them up to date with the steps in the transaction with the guides. You can see who has your app downloaded, and you can watch your client activity. So if you ever go into your contacts, anyone who's downloaded the app, you can see in that timeline in the contact card exactly where they're at and what they're looking at on the consumer app. So you have more visibility into who's interacting with your consumer experience and at what level they're interacting. So you can kind of help manage that relationship at a higher level. If you know who's constantly, one of my favorite things, if I know somebody's on my app every single day looking at homes in a certain area, they're probably getting pretty close to buying. It's probably someone I should be having a conversation with. So great opportunity that way. So why it's game changing is you can see saved searches, listings viewed, shared collections, edited collections, and viewed collections. It's just giving you, again, a lot more insight into what your consumers are doing and when they're doing it and how frequent, so that you can be more involved in that consumer experience with them. So we know on average, when a home buyer or seller, when a client sells their home or purchases a new home, it's usually a 3 to 7 year time span between then and when they will next when they will next have another real estate transaction. On average, it's 3 to 7 years. We also know that we want to stay present in our clients' lives, right? I think the National Association of Realtors statistic is 88% of all home buyers would say they would use their agent again and only like what 12% do. And a lot of that goes back to the fact that as agents in general, we're not very good at staying involved in our clients' lives through that 3 to 7 year process. So if you look at this graph here, these red dots at the top is when someone's buying and selling real estate. This red dot down here at the bottom is the day after they close on their home. That is the farthest anyone will ever get away from the next real estate transaction they do, is the day after they close. So our goal is really during all of this time between this day and the next day to stay involved in their lives and help be their real estate wealth advisors and be omnipresent in their lives. And so we do a lot of those things through what we call a 36 touch. We're sending emails, we're texting, phone calls, things like that to stay engaged with them, remind them we're in real estate, ask for referrals, all those types of things. Have any of you ever read the book, The 7 Levels of Communication? Well, if you've read the book, The 7 Levels of Communication, it's a great book that kind of talks about how, how different communication is received, and it really scales them on a level from weakest to strongest. Email is considered one of the lowest forms of communication, that meaning that when you get an email, especially a mass email like a newsletter from, that's been sent out to I don't know how many people, I'm sure you've all gotten probably about 25 of them from any industry or business you've ever done business with, telling you what their policies are around COVID-19. I'm really glad that the bank that I used 5 years ago is telling me how they are going to handle the COVID-19 virus breakout. But that's really the idea, is email is kind of that lowest form of communication, right? And then obviously text's a higher level communication. That's one-to-one communication. A phone call is higher than that. And kind of the top is that face-to-face human interaction. When you are face-to-face with someone, there is more relationship building and communication going on in that experience than anything else. Well, one of the really cool things with the release of the consumer app is we've added another tool to your tool belt of a way for you to stay connected with your clients, with your friends and family throughout that 3 to 7 year period. And the app is a much higher level reminder and communication tool than an email or a text. It's even higher than a phone call because they are able to interact with you on their terms at their time. Have any of you ever gotten a phone call when like someone calls you and you're like, like I should talk to you, but I really would rather talk to you like tomorrow, not right now? Happens to me all the time. Like, I wish I could just call this guy back tomorrow. Well, that's the fun thing with the app, is your clients get to pick when, where, and how they're engaging with you. So really great tool that way. And one of the big pieces, I don't know if any of you've played with the app, but it's the buyer and seller guides. Have any of you ever purchased a home, or take a step back. Have any of you ever purchased pizza online from Domino's or maybe ordered an Uber? Did any of you ever have to call Domino's in the last couple of years at least and say, hey, when's my pizza going to get here? No, because if you go order pizza on Domino's.com right now, they have that very simple and very easy to follow along guide that shows you exactly where in the process your pizza's at. Same thing with Uber. If I order an Uber on my phone, I can follow and see exactly where the driver is until they pick me up. I know what car they're coming in. I know what the license plate is. I know what the driver's name is. I have their phone number, and on and on. I never have to call Uber and ask for that information. I never have to send them an email. That's the same idea with the consumer guides in the app, is that this is your opportunity. And the really fun thing is that we are the first real estate company with anything like this. But this is your opportunity, that as you're managing the transaction, your clients can follow along step by step how that process is going, what's coming next, and what they've already done. So there is a customizable buyer guide and customizable seller guide in every app that your clients download. So this is really your opportunity to help keep them plugged into the transaction throughout that whole process without you having to constantly send them emails or call them or text them with updates. So huge opportunity. And this is where we're going to dive in. So you can screenshot this screen or you can write this link down. But if you go to go.kw.com/app setup, this is going to take you into the Kelly guide where you can go through and actually set up each step in your Kelly guide, in your consumer app and in your guides. So those guides, like I showed you here, you can see, maybe if it'll let me go back. You can see here over on this phone, this is what the guides look like in your app. You are able to customize, add as many steps as you want, and remove as many steps as you want. So this is fully customizable to you and the way you do business. So what I would challenge you to do is outline your seller transaction and your buyer transaction. Sit down and write through what is every step and milestone in the seller transaction, and then again in the buyer transaction. And write out what is the information that your clients need to know. Think through some past transactions you've had. What would you want your clients to know without them having to call you for the information? So showing homes, reviewing offers, inspection, appraisal, closing, that's kind of the general idea of the seller transaction. And then you can see kind of the general steps of the buyer transaction is starting their search, getting pre-approved, touring homes, making an offer, getting a fully executed contract, the home inspection, home insurance, home warranty, the loan, all that, all the way through closing. So what are those steps that you want your clients to know about? If you have, say, a preferred lender, you can plug in their information under the get pre-approved step and have, hey, get pre-approved with my lender right here. Here's their link to start the application. Things like that. You could also use Keller Mortgage in there. But this is really your guide so they can follow step by step and check off that entire process in collaboration with you as the agent. So this is kind of what I was saying is you can dive in and I would write down everything that happens throughout that transactional process before, during, and after a transaction closes. And then you go into that go.kw.com/app setup, and that's where you'll build out those guides. So you'll build out your buyer's guide and your seller's guide with all of the steps of that transactional process for your clients. Any questions on setting up your guides? This is where if you want to talk, you have to unmute yourself.
Hey, Jordan, can you repeat the website? Sorry, I had to grab a pen and paper.
It is right there.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Did anyone else have any questions on setting up the guides? Perfect. Well, step 2, so once you've gone through and set up and customized your guides, obviously we want to start launching the marketing campaign, right? We want to get this out on as many people's phones as possible because this is a great opportunity for you to go, 1, connect with existing clients, reconnect with old clients, and go find new people to bring into your world. The other beautiful thing is once they're plugged into your world and they've kind of started building out their ecosystem and their real estate life in your consumer experience, it's going to be very difficult for any other agent or company to get in between you and your client and that relationship, because you are going to be absolutely the first one to know when they're ready to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. You are going to be their go-to resource well before anyone else even knows they're thinking about it. So huge opportunity that way. So kind of the different steps of the marketing process is, so we'll go over the kind of 4 steps. So step 1 is to leverage the KW app commercial that Keller Williams International has built. Step 2 is to launch your KW app. Then we're going to connect with your sphere of influence and create smart videos and send those out as well. Awesome. So let's dive in. The KW app commercial. Did that not? Right here. So there's kind of a fun, quick commercial that any of you can use. That commercial is on KW Connect as well as on YouTube. And you can go download that, post it on your social media, post it, wherever you want to get that out to your friends and family, to your clients, and invite them to download your app. So it's a great resource that you can leverage and use that's advertising your branded app. It's all about you. And I'll show you here in a little bit where you can go get your custom URL so that when someone clicks on that link to download the app, it automatically brands them directly to you. Let's see. So we're going to go through here. So kind of in launching your, okay, my slides are moving faster than I am. So one of the fun things, again, you will be able to see kind of where your clients are at in using the app. So if they're logged on, if they have the app, you can see in your contacts, you'll start to see that green check mark pop up. So you'll be able to see who's using the app and who hasn't downloaded it yet. So you know where you're engaging with your database and what part of your database you need to go back and re-engage with. And then connect as your sphere of influence. I'm absolutely and 100% believer in the market of the moment, right? Calling your friends and family right now, there's probably a much different conversation than if you would have called them a month ago, inviting them to download the consumer app. So my conversation right now would be is reach out to your database. First and foremost, obviously check in on them. How are you doing? How are you handling everything that's going on? We're living in a very crazy time. Have that conversation with them, ask them how you can help, and then simply offer this invite. Hey, I'd love to send you this link. My company and I just launched a new app about a month ago. I'd love you to download it. It's all about real estate. You can search for homes anywhere in North America. Go ahead and download it, check it out while you're at home and looking for something to do. And let me know what you think. Go on, shop for some homes, create your account, save some searches, and tell me what you think. I would love your feedback on how you like this app. It's a great opportunity to connect with them and be real. Like, yeah, I would love their feedback on the app, as well as it's a great way to have a conversation and acknowledge the fact that we do live in crazy times, but still be able to have a conversation around real estate and invite them to download the app and start using it. The more they engage with it, the more as we come through this crazy time and they are looking to make a move, this is going to be the time to do it. I've had several agents over the last few days share with me that they were calling their friends and family just checking in. And some of their friends and family are like, hey, look, like I know it's a crazy time right now, like with COVID-19 and everything, but I've realized having to be stuck at home for 4 days, I don't want to live in this house anymore. Like, when can we list my house? So it's a great opportunity to still be in conversation and talking about real estate with your friends and family. Now is still a great time to buy. Interest rates are pretty low. I mean, they're kind of volatile right now, but so I'm closing on a personal property here in about 3 weeks. I locked at a 3.3% interest rate just 2 days ago. So there's still business to be done, and there's still great opportunities and deals to be had. So don't let that shy away. So I would connect with them, phone call, text message, ask them to download your app. And then you can create smart videos. Have any of you played with designs at all in Command? Not at all. Okay, this is fun. So designs is probably one of my new favorite things because you can go in there and there's tons of super simple, easy to use marketing that you can go and create. You can create stuff for open houses, any social media posts, anything like that. You can create flyers. You can actually now create videos. If any of you are at family reunion, you can go in and create a video that's a smart video that's based on a neighborhood. So I've created one here that we'll go ahead and watch. very simple. That video took me all of about 2 minutes to create. It's customized to that neighborhood. It's got all of that neighborhood specific information in it, and it's branded to me. The other fun thing is you can go and customize any of those numbers in there that you would like. So if you want it to, if you don't agree with the stats that Command pulls in from the MLS, you can go in and customize and say, no, the days on market's this for this neighborhood. You can pull those from the MLS. You can use the ones that Command will automatically pull in for you. Or if you're feeling really brave and smart, you can come up with your own numbers. Probably not what I would recommend, but you have that customization and that full capability there. So great opportunity for you to be able to create these. And I would, if you have neighborhoods that you're looking to farm and be the local neighborhood expert, I don't know many other agents out there at other companies that can create a smart video like this that's custom to that neighborhood. You could send this out to everyone in the neighborhood once a month. Post it on the neighborhood Facebook groups and pages and post it on your business page. Painting you as very clearly the neighborhood expert very quickly, and it's taking you 2-3 minutes a month to do. So huge opportunity that way. And then I would always, again, bring it back to inviting them to download your custom branded KW app. Awesome. So there's really no wrong way to go about inviting people to download and use your KW app. There's the app download page, which you'll see in your consumer. So I'll show you at the end here, but when we dive into Command, you under consumer, you can find your agent branded link. If they click that link that's branded to you, when they go download the app, it will automatically brand directly to you. You can add a click here to download my app in your email signatures. You can post it on social media. You can have a QR code on postcards if you send those out. You can run social ad campaigns for them to download the app. You can have design assets. I mean, really, any way you can think of getting this out there and inviting people to download the app, not a bad idea. I've even heard of agents, having a QR code when they're holding open houses. Hey, scan here, sign into the app, and that's how you sign into our open house. So you watch everyone as they're coming in, download the app and log in for the first time. You're capturing their contact information directly in your Command, and now they're leaving that open house with an app branded to you on their phone, so you can stay in touch with that person long after they leave that open house. Huge opportunity. I'd say that's a much higher touch at an open house and a higher likelihood to go get more business from your open houses than having them sign it on a piece of paper that gets lost in your trunk. I'm just being very real with my experiences because that's always how I was when I was a full-time realtor. Awesome. Any questions on marketing your app? You guys are a very quiet group today. Okay. Well, we're going to kind of dive into just the features of how you can really manage that relationship, and then we can dive into Command a little bit and show you where to set up that app and get your links. So far, what we've talked about is setting up the consumer app, creating custom guides for it, and then starting to share and market that to your clients, your friends, and family. So again, one of the big things is the guide. This is really your opportunity to keep your client and your buyers and sellers plugged in and engaged in the consumer experience the entire transaction. They have the opportunity to favorite and heart properties. They can save properties to collections, add collaborators to those collections, all those types of things. They can even invite you to those collections so that you can collaborate right there in the app with them. So they can add a co-buyer down here on the bottom. They would add a co-buyer, and if they add a co-buyer, when that co-buyer logs in for the first time, it will add them to your Command if they're not already in there. And then you'll be able to see all of their activities. So who they're associated with, any listings they're viewing, anything they're creating in the app, those types of things. You have full visibility into all of that right there in your timeline in each contact, which is a huge opportunity for you to really stay on top of who are the people in your database that you need to be communicating with, and who are the ones that you need to connect with, again, because they're not using your consumer experience. So some of the things we can do is we can manage relationships, right? So we can control who we follow up with, how frequently we follow up with them, and with what intensity. Knowing what their interactions and how much they're using the consumer experience is going to help enable you to know who to follow up with, how often you should be following up with those people. If they're checking the app once a month, follow up with them once a month. If they're checking the app twice a day, 3 times a day, and favoriting 7 properties per day, they're probably pretty close to buying the home or selling theirs. probably would get a little more frequent and a little bit more intense on my follow-up with those leads. And then things you can see. So what you're looking for is properties they're favoriting, properties they're hiding, and then just their overall statistics, how often they're using and engaging with that app. So what questions, ahas, what did we learn? And then we'll dive in and kind of show you where to find some things in Command.